This one's a long time coming, Bo. How you doing, man?
I'm good, you?
Doing good. How long have we known each other?
I think I've been with B&K 14 years.
So you fish, but I met you before then. I met you when you were with Grandpa.
Yeah, but I don't, yeah, you might have been dumping our cans.
I was. I remember meeting you. You guys would haul like a trailer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And like, oh man, I was like real green, so I didn't know shit.
Yeah.
Like I knew what cans were.
Well, I was green too. I was just following, what Grandpa was doing.
Yeah,
so
that's when I met you, man. And now we've been working together for 14, 15 years. It's been an honor, and can't wait to share what the B&K boys have been up to, man, because you guys are just killing it in Oregon. So people that don't know you, Bo Boston, give us your story. Let's hear it.
Born in a small town in eastern Oregon called Grande. Family moved to Pendleton in the mid-90s. Grew up there. I've got 2 younger brothers and then my folks. And we just did our thing like any normal family would.
All boys, huh?
All boys.
All boys.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then, I've got a grandpa that was in the scrap business for, ever. He started at Amalgamated Sugar, and he was in charge of maintenance and stuff like that. And so him and my father hauled product for years. And to Brett's grandpa, and then Rod and Debbie, and Brett. And so I've always been around the junk side of things, and it kind of got me interested. It was always something different and fun, and so the next thing you know, I'm in high school. I've got a driver's license. Got to make some money, and I started playing with the scrap game. And
what did he like about it? Like back then, not now, because I'm going to ask you that question again later.
So then, instant gratification.
Money?
Yep.
Okay, that's the gratification.
Yep.
Instant cash.
Instant
quick.
cash.
You don't got to work 2 weeks.
Yep.
And get a check.
Yep.
That you get half of what you really worked for. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. That was
especially as a young kid.
Oh yeah. I went and I'd do something, and load that steel up and haul it in the next day or the same day, and get paid for it.
Where were you getting steel from?
I had a few businesses in town. I had a pallet business, actually.
Okay.
And so I was in the recycling industry, and I was picking up pallets from these different businesses that would stack up out in front of them.
Were you doing pallets before you hauled scrap?
It was kind of a mix.
Same. Okay.
But the pallet business is what catapulted me in the sense that I had to buy equipment. I had to buy the trailer. I had to get the pickup. I had to put things in place to do that business and operate it. And once you kind of have the tools, it was like, well, I can haul scrap just as easy as I can haul pallets. And so it just became another supplemental portion of the business. We didn't have a scrap yard in Pendleton. There were a few people that took product, but nobody paid for it. And so I did a lot of traveling. I hauled it to Hermiston, and I hauled it to Grande. And during the summers, I'd come down and stay with Grandpa.
What yards were in Hermiston? What yard was it in Grande?
So RS Davis was in Hermiston.
Okay.
And then Grande at the time had an outfit by the name of Wordingers.
Okay.
And those were the 2 that were the closest to me. There was another guy in Walla Walla, and I just never hauled that way. I don't know why, but we just never took any product that way.
Okay.
So, but yeah, had the pallet business and was doing that. And so your customers are like, well, if you can get rid of my pallets, can you get rid of these crates? And then can you get rid of these 55-gallon barrels? And then
you're solving problems.
I was just solving problems.
You're solving problems, but obviously any legitimate business, which that is what you're doing, you have to make money.
Yeah.
To keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's just like macro, super big companies. You see big corporations that aren't making money anymore, and they don't stay around. So they might stay around longer than you think they should. But so you learned in an early age, yes, I'm taking care of problems, but I have to make more money than I'm spending.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And I was I was double dipping in some instances. You know, I had some customers that were paying me to get rid of the product. So that was really sweet. I was getting paid to take it away, and I was selling it and remarketing it on the backside.
Well, at that level, like, you might not have enough volume to justify paying someone.
Oh, correct.
So you have like again, like, you have to charge to this day as big as we are now. Like, some people that really want us to haul their scrap that don't generate enough, like, we would be happy to do it, but you just don't generate enough. So we have to charge you. So you have to learn that at an early age, you know, because that's not, depends what part of the country you're in, but, you know, that's not super commonplace in the scrap world where you're charging people. Now it is becoming more commonplace for certain places.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So did that, and then you know, as I aged up, made a little more money. Grandpa
Still in high school.
Still in high school.
Okay.
Grandpa started. You know, he'd always done the farm sales, and so now that I could travel on my own, not dependent on the folks, you know, I would come down and stay with Grandpa for a week or a couple weeks during the summer, and then he had a heart surgery, and so I came down and stayed the whole summer that one year, and we went to the farm sales and we bought scrap, and I was that guy that showed up, you know, 16 to 18 years old, and I got $500 to my name, and the next sale, if I made some decent money, I had $1,000 to my name, and you'd spend it all and just keep enough back that you could buy McDonald's and fill your tank up with fuel, and you rolled into the scrapyard the next day and you hope you got your money back.
You're living to fight. You're living for the next sell.
Absolutely.
Each time.
Absolutely.
That's gotta be stressful though. Even back then, was that stressful?
Oh yeah, $1,000 was a lot of money, you know.
Still is.
Oh yeah, it still is today, but I mean then,
especially back then.
That was my net worth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that taught me a lot though. You know, it gave me an opportunity to get some real insight on.
Were there any hard lessons? Did you lose your ass?
No, you know, I got blessed in the sense that timeline-wise, that was running from like 2007 to 2010 when I graduated.
So the market was hot.
Except
there was that blip.
There was a blip, but
where it wasn't.
Yeah, and you know, but I wasn't vested.
Yeah.
In the sense that, you know, I was buying product one day. If I was buying it, most of it I was getting for free. But you'd buy it one day and you were selling it the next. So the market at my scale. You
weren't having a scrapyard with 1,000 tons.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah. So, and I didn't, you know, I didn't know non-ferrous. You know, I knew my copper a little bit and I knew brass, but most of the time I didn't even care about it. I just threw it all on the trailer and I was getting weight, and scrapyards were loving it. So.
Yeah, that's what I did the opposite. I learned non-ferrous before ferrous.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I knew at first, and then finally I was like, can I go learn what they're doing?
Yeah.
You know? I remember, like, I was green, and I didn't know much, dude. It was like my first week, and this guy rolls up, and he's like, hey, can I get rid of this RV? Oh, yeah. Take it over there. Sam Ramirez was running the scale at the time, and he just said, what the fuck?
Got your butt chewed.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? It's scrap, you know. And I learned, actually, there's more garbage in that. So, you know, it's simple and it's not at the same time. There's just all those nuances that, especially the new guys, don't know. And I've always had a problem of thinking I knew sometimes and not maybe asking enough questions. I'm good at asking questions, but sometimes I assume too much.
Yeah.
I think that came with my youth too. I was still young back then.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Sam taught a lesson too. So I got a little overzealous one time, and I had went to a sale and I had purchased a vehicle, and then I had ended up with a bunch of just computer components and old printers. I mean, like, and we're talking the big printers out of the banks, out of the, you know, big warehouse type stuff, and a lot of plastic. Well, I stripped those down, and I was pulling cords and doing some stuff, trying to make some extra money on it. And I was taking all the plastic, and I just started stuffing it in that car that I bought. And I come rolling in here across the scale, And this car is just chuckernut to the. I mean,
plastic.
I was using the sunroof to fill it at the end because we had the windows up, trying to get that thing packed. It is just full of white plastic in there. And I roll across the scale, and Sam weighs me in. Roll out to the yard, and the guys unload me, and I roll back in and weigh in. And as I walk in the office, Sam just doing his thing. How you doing? And he slides the paper across that old copper countertop we had in that Caldwell facility, and just slides that across the counter to me. And it's like $30 a ton. And I looked at him. I said, Sam, at the time, I think I was getting somewhere around 150.
Yeah,
for cars.
Yeah.
And I said, what the heck, Sam? And he goes, if you're going to bring me your dumpster, I'm going to give you dumpster prices.
Good on Sam.
I hate that.
I hear that a lot from people, not you, but other people, that there's like plastic or wood. Oh, that doesn't weigh nothing. Oh, everything weighs something. You learn that real quick.
Yeah.
And we have to pay to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But at the time, that was a way for you to get rid of it.
I was just trying to keep things clean, and I thought I could get paid a little extra because weight's weight. And it wasn't my problem. And Sam made it my problem. So. Yeah,
I was blessed when I started here. I got taught by a lot of good people, man, or I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah.
And it's because I asked them a lot of fucking questions where I think like, God, this kid won't leave me alone. Be like, why do we do that? Why do we do that? Why do we pay this? Why do we pay this?
When you got lucky, you had Guy,
I had Guy Pilot.
That guy was
Greg Brown. I had Brett and Rod. I had Kenny Bull.
Yeah.
I had Sam Ramirez.
Yep.
I had some of the guys that are still here today that just teaching me the ropes on how to operate a forklift. I knew how to operate a forklift, I thought, but I'd get it stuck
go out in the gravel
every other day. I'm like, Sam, can you pull me out? Just drop the bin, you dumbass. Oh, okay, I'm out. I'm good. I had Gabriel, who's still out here killing it.
Yep.
Just blessing. And you'd probably agree with me, and that's what I love about the scrap industry is all those people.
They're still here. They're still making a difference.
All these people teaching, and I try to do that with the next group, and I think I'm doing it. If I'm not, and you're listening to this, knock on my door, call me. I promise I'll teach you anything I can.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, it's been a long road, but it's been a fun one. Going into college, I went to college there at Blue Mountain in Pendleton. Went in for not a livestock degree, but I went in for an ag business degree. And if I'm being 100% honest, I got to that last semester, and I went into my advisor at the time, and I said, "Hey, I'm struggling with this math class. I can't seem to pass it. Is there any way I can get around that and still get my degree?" And he just said, "No, you've got to pass that, or you've got to come back." Well, I'd already paid for the class twice and failed it twice. And
you can only fail it 3 times, right?
Oh, I think it's community college. I think as long as you keep paying them, they'll keep putting you through the class. So,
okay, got it.
But I said, "Well, what's the next degree if I don't pass that?" He goes, "Well, you can get your livestock production degree with an emphasis in cattle based on what I had taken for classes and courses." He goes, "You just finish out what you already have on your semester and
drop the math class. And
he goes, "You'll just get this degree instead of that degree." And I went,
"Cool.
That sounds good to me." And
cool.
The whole time through college, to pay my way through school, scrapping.
Scrap metal paid for college.
Scrap metal paid for college. Would
you go back to college if you could do it again?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I would. In my
college
case,
can be
it was a good.
It's an interesting debate nowadays. Going to college.
Yeah, I think when I look back on at least Blue Mountain there in Pendleton, I think all in, and I had a few scholarships coming out of high school, but I was under $20,000 for 2 years, all in said and done, and I had the benefit of living with my folks, so I didn't have to move, I didn't have to pay for dorms or anything like that.
It teaches you skills. So I got I got asked politely to leave college by Boise State, and I never went back. But it taught me some lessons. I did have a couple good semesters. I think the people that succeed in college, kudos to you, kudos to anyone with a college degree. It really teaches you how to be trainable. I think it teaches you how to be more organized and to get a goal done, get shit done, you know? And I admire that about people that have college degrees. You know, you started something, you finished it, and even if you don't, I was talking to one of our good customers yesterday, and we were talking about college, and you know, he said the statistics insane. Like, and you're one of them. The people that get their degree, like 95% don't work in that in what their degree is exactly for.
Yep.
Which is because I was explaining, like, oh, my daughter's going for engineering, my wife's going for social work. In both those careers, you have to have a degree, you know? So I'm, like, very supportive of it. If my youngest daughter was like, Dad, I don't know what I want to do, I'd be like, go get a job. Like, go get a job first, and then figure. And then if that leads you to college,
great,
go for it.
Absolutely.
But also, like, if you feel like you want to go to college, like, go. But I'm not going to, like, be more proud of you because you went to college.
Yeah.
And I think when we were growing up, at least me, a little older than you, like, I felt like our generation felt like they had to go to college to make their parents proud. At least, like,
it was definitely
my circle kind of did.
Yeah, I don't know if it was as much about the family as it was just that was what was ingrained in you when, you know, going to public school at least. Was. You were not going to be worth a darn if you didn't go get some higher education. Yeah. And in some cases, they're probably right. But in a lot of cases, I think it's been proven that it's not quite the case. So there's a lot of truck drivers that make a lot more money than you and me.
100%. 100%.
You know, the garbage man's got better benefits than you and me.
100%. Yeah.
And but you weren't taught that. You know, that was the bottom of the end. You know, the job you didn't want to have. And yeah, that's not the case. I think with college, though, it opened up my eyes to the value of networking and building relationships. Because you get to meet a variety of people from all over, and at least in my experience, we were all, it was an ag-based group of individuals, at least those that I was around while I was going through school. And so you all come from different walks of life, but you all have a common, you know, goal. And you got to learn a lot. You got to, you know, meet a lot of people that then you'd go travel with them for a weekend and go see their part of the country or see their operation. You know, if they had a family farm or a dairy, or, you know, some of the guys, you know, their dad just worked a 9 to 5 like everybody else. But it opened your eyes to the bigger world that was out there, and then it's been fun. Now I'm doing business with a handful of those guys I went to college with. You know.
Well, when we were up in Walla Walla Lake for Gabe's wedding, you were like, I went to college with that guy. Oh, that guy yonder, I went to college with him. I'm like, fuck. Like, you know, everyone that owns all this shit around here. And that's one thing that's cool about, I grew up here in Caldwell. It was a little different, you know. But even here, like, I'm like, I know that guy. It's just a little different out where you know, out in that part of the country too. But you're like, you went to college with those guys, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and you know, it's different in the sense that, like, you know those guys, you know their grandma, and you know how good her cookies are, and you know their mom, and how good lasagna is on Wednesday nights, and it's a deeper connection a lot of times I've found in the rural side of the, in the just rural communities in general, where those connections you build them, and you know, when we meet up, you know, not only do I ask about their wife, but I get to ask about how their folks are and how their their grand folks
like,
are.
Hey, you got any of them cookies?
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm only going to pay you a good scrap price today, you know, grandma's still cooking cookies. So, but yeah, did scrap through college, and then.
So I do want to touch on something.
Oh, go ahead.
That we're talking about college, and we have to talk about it. There was a tragedy at college yesterday.
Yeah.
It's 9/11 today. I woke up very emotional. It's my grandpa's birthday today too. You know, he's in heaven.
Yep.
It's always been a real emotional day for me. And then today's extra because of Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace. That happened on a college campus, and it's just a tragedy. And I feel like I would be doing a misservice not to at least address it, you know? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, it's just so sad it happened to a guy that's just trying to have a conversation. I don't care what side of the fence you're on that deal. He's a dad. So it hits close to home for me. He's a father. He's a hustler. He's out there just fucking hustling.
Oh, grinding.
Grinding.
Right out of high school, too.
Yeah.
I mean, in high school.
And,
They started that SOS Media, I think is what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And they were seniors in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like that kid set the bar and did not back down
Mm-hmm.
the whole way.
And I'm praying for our country. I'm praying for his family.
Yeah.
And you know, and praying for also any soldiers, anyone that fights for our country, especially on 9/11. You know, it's just because I remember that day too. I mean, you were probably.
I was in 4th grade, Mr. Briggs' class, Mackay Elementary, Pendleton, Oregon.
I graduated already, but I was working at Irrigators Lumber right there. I was hungover when it happened. I remember I listened to my parents and they woke me up and like, you need to watch this, you know?
Yeah.
And that was before. And
yeah, they
I
rolled the cart with the big TV into the classroom
they?
and plugged it in and hooked up the cable connection. And yeah, we sat there and watched that. And I don't think at the time in 4th grade I had any clue what the magnitude of that was and what was really going down. I was old enough
too, and it was such a tragedy, but it was such a moment that it was actually nice to see people all want to be Americans again.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. After that day, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And today it feels different. It feels like it matters to some people when it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say on that. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. You know, be praying for your family. So.
Yeah. No bueno.
So graduate college.
Graduate college and put that degree on the wall. And I had got an offer from a scrap company there in Grande, Oregon, Wordinger Recycling, to come to work as a buyer. So I got that offer in like April. So we graduated, I think it was.
Are you still living in Pendleton?
I'm still living in Pendleton, yeah. And I got that offer and I was like, yeah, I'm going to take 2 weeks off after college and I'm going to go live it up and then I'll be back and have my business cards ready and have my pickup ready and I'm going to be a scrap buyer.
You got 2 weeks, huh?
I told him, I was like 2 weeks. I know Brett just next day kind of deal.
You know, he had Rod, you know. He had his dad who was, his boss, though.
Family was involved.
Yeah. He started that Monday, right?
Yeah. So
you get 2 weeks off.
I do 2 weeks off. I show back up. I roll in. They've got me a cell phone. They got me my business cards. And I got a company pickup sitting there. And I'm like, this is the best thing in the world. Dreamed of doing, I don't know if I dreamed of doing something like that. But it was fun spending somebody else's money. And running around on their dime. And I got to go see everybody I knew.
Yeah. You already had the connections.
I already had a bunch of the connections. And scrap market was on fire. You couldn't screw up. So I had a couple jobs already lined up. And we teed off and went for broke. And then I started reaching out to these new customers. And unfortunately, the bills weren't getting paid on the backside. So all of a sudden I've got customers at 14 days calling, hey, where's my payment? And then I got customers at 30 days calling, where's my payment? So in a matter of about 6 weeks, I had went from top of the world to...
That quick?
6 weeks.
Wow. Okay, I thought you were there longer.
No, 6 weeks. Top of the world to just absolutely distraught in the sense that I've got people that I've known for my whole life.
And you kind of put your name on the
I
line.
put my name on the line.
Yep.
And
You don't have that kind of capital in your own bank account.
oh no, I had racked up close to $500,000, in what we had spent.
What you quoted for jobs. And all
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I had that all lined them up.
And in that market, you made a healthy profit.
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
Or
no,
would you
I
ever
mean,
did.
those people were getting good money
Yeah.
for the services rendered,
Yeah.
or they were supposed to be getting good money for the services rendered, and there was still plenty on the table for everybody.
Mhm.
And me and the owner of the company at the time sat down and told me it wasn't my business to worry about the payment side. I just needed to buy scrap, and I told him, I was like, well, I got one name, and Eastern Oregon's too small to ruin that. So
You walked away.
I walked.
Probably one of the best decisions you've made.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary though. You come out of college, you think you got the world by the balls, and I got slapped upside the face real fast. So I bought a trailer, bought another pickup because I had sold all my stuff because I thought, well, I'm going to run on somebody else's dime and do this. So I revamped back up and got my stuff going and started doing the scrap for myself again. And I had reached out to Brett, and I didn't know Brett very well. But I reached out to Brett and said, hey, if there's a position available, I'd be looking for a job. And I think at the time, United had a couple pretty good buyers. They'd been around a while, buying scrap, some old guard, and there really wasn't a spot open for me.
And that's when we just had. Did we have Boise open? Do you remember?
Boise
was
I think it was Boise was opening,
okay.
because that would have been 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I met him at Boise when I finally interviewed with him. So you had to be somewhat open.
Yeah.
But that was back when he was in the closet.
What? Excuse me?
That little closet room that Tom was in forever.
Oh, okay.
I call it the closet.
I do know his office was.
It wasn't with Brian and Debbie back there.
He was in that one that you can see in the warehouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's a good office. I like that one because the guys have access to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so there wasn't. Brett said, "Hey, we don't got anything right now for you."
Yeah, he when I talked to him on the phone, he's like, "Hey, I don't know if I got something for you, but let's meet." Mm-hmm. So I came up and we hung out and kind of just chatted.
You didn't know him very well.
No, didn't know him much at all. At the time, he was kind of a husky fella. Pretty thick. He had his football body. Yeah,
still, yeah.
Yeah, and I ended up meeting with him that day, and we talked, and he talked about they were thinking about doing something maybe in Blackfoot at the time. He's like, "What do you think about Blackfoot, Idaho?" I was like, "What do you think about Eastern Oregon?" And he goes, "Well, I know a guy. Let me do some talking, and we'll be in touch." So another 30 days went on. I took care of my own business, and I got a call back from Brett, and he goes, "I want you to go meet this guy, Jake Hansen. He's got an auto salvage in Grande."
You didn't know Jake already?
Nope.
So Brett introduced you to Jake.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it might have been more the other way around.
No. I'd been into B&K a couple times, bought some used parts, but no relationship whatsoever. And Brett goes, go talk to this guy. I got something in the works. Maybe this might work out. So I went and met with Jake, and I don't know, we had a 20-minute conversation, and he goes, "I'll give you a call." And I got a phone call probably a week later, and we met back up and shook hands, and I handed him my resume that first time. I don't think he looked at it. But he ended up hiring me, and he goes, "We don't have a scale yet. We don't have any of the stuff. Buy yourself a little more time, and I'll call you when we're ready." Mm-hmm. So then he calls me and says, "Hey, the scale's in, or the scale's coming. Let's start trying to figure out an ETA as far as when we're going to get you started." Mm-hmm. So then at that point, I know I'm on board. I just start hauling scrap in the door.
Mm-hmm.
I just say piss on it. I'm not worried about the money. I was getting a lot of stuff pretty cheap at the time. I just start bringing product in the door. And I'm just driving across dirt. We're not worried about any of it. I'm just going to stockpile it, and Jake's going to help cash flow it. And so that's what we did. And I'm just using my best guessing to guess about where we're at for weight.
Yeah.
So
making deals.
Yep.
You know.
And then it was, if I remember right, October 6th, 2012, we flipped the lights on. Went to town.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember. I know Boise and Grande opened real close to each other. Boise first, you know, and then Grande shortly after. Because I was only a few years in, but Brett was like, "Get in my truck, you're going to Grande with me." So I kind of went in like before you were officially open.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I remember you coming down with your backpack on.
Yes, I still had my backpack.
I know. I remember looking at this going, I don't know who this guy is, but just left it at that. You know, I mean, we knew each other, but I didn't.
We didn't know.
I didn't know you know, very well. And
yeah.
So, and I was new to the process. I mean, I'd never set up a new scrapyard. I didn't have a clue what we were doing. I mean,
I'd only helped set up Boise, you know, and so I had that, but we were still slow, super slow. Like, I was so used to being here in Caldwell, 120 customers a day. The prices were off the hook. It was
nuts.
It was awesome, dude, but it was like every day I was just filthy, and I fucking loved it, dude. And then Brett says, "You want to open Boise?" I said, "Hell yeah." We had 2 customers a day, and I was like, "Oh my god, I feel like I'm doing something wrong." I felt like guilty for not being busy enough, because I'm like, what do I just standing there and make cold? And then I'm like, just cold calls. Hey, we opened a yard here. You know, and you know, because we had a lot of competition out there. You know, we still do. You know, but now that yard's busy. It took time though. So, and you know, so that's your first yard you opened.
Yeah,
What's the biggest takeaway from opening a yard that you didn't expect?
Oh, you know, I would say based on the situation of that yard in particular, I had a vengeance. I was out for blood with the competitor.
You were the same town as your old employer.
I was in the same town as my old employer, and I had it out. I was going to win. I don't know how I was going to win, but we were going to win. And so we went at it, and I think consistency and focusing on what we had to do and not worrying about the competition is where we won. And they definitely had plenty of their own issues going on. We were just that thorn in their side that just maybe sped the process up a little bit. But
well, you probably paid your customers.
We paid our customers quickly.
Just
service was probably shit to begin with. I mean, I ran around with a tow truck, a roll bed tow truck, slid bins off, 4x6, 4x8s, and then we had these really long custom hooks we built that you would slide through the bin.
The pockets.
And you'd pinch the bin against the bed, lift it, put a block underneath it, set it down so you didn't fold the ends underneath. I mean, it was a process.
Did you have a roll-off truck?
No roll-off truck.
So you just had a tow truck?
Yep, there for a while. We didn't have a roll-off truck. We didn't have a Moffett forklift. We didn't have... I mean, we had one forklift in the yard. And that thing ran off of yard gas that we siphoned out of cars we were buying. I mean, you want to kill mosquitoes. That old Clark would kill mosquitoes because the blue cloud behind it was ungodly. When it needed oil, you just took oil out of one of the used cars and poured it in it.
So you're running nimble.
Oh, we were, I think we were probably 6 months in, and United, Brett shipped down the old Trojan front loaders that I want to say was at the Gooding facility. He sent that over, and we thought we were big dogs. We had a front loader that could do something. because we had a 920 and a 930 that Jake had already had previously for the auto salvage, and we had an off-road forklift, but we didn't have rotators, bin squeezers, nothing. So it was very primitive. I think our first, I tell the guys a lot, that first prepared iron trailer we did, United brought the trailer down and dropped it off and says, just call when you're ready. And the trailer just sat there with the side kit up. And we were so slow with so few customers for that first 6 to 8 months that Casey, myself, and Mike at the time, one of us would drive the forklift, and we would go down the auto salvage rows. And we'd pick up brake drums. And I mean, to the point of like, you were borderline stealing scrap off of or out of the bed of these auto salvage rigs because you wanted your prepared iron load to go that much quicker.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, they're not going to sell that brake drum. You throw that on there. Or, oh, that steering stabilizer shaft, that'll be fine. We'll throw that on here. You almost wanted to run into the cars with the front loader just so you could, you're like, oh, that one's going to have to
that
go
one's
scrap.
all messed up. It's a scrapper. Jake ever slap your hand?
Oh, I think everybody probably got slapped at some point, and to his credit, he was trying to make the most out of his auto salvage cars. And you've got these 3 junk guys over here that are like, we're going to make scrap. We're going to make scrap. Yeah. I mean, we'd have crushed that whole yard if somebody had given us a thumbs up, we'd have done it.
Yeah.
But we just got by and just trudged through it there for a few years. And then they went out of business shortly thereafter. And that really opened up the door for us. So the floodgates kind of shifted.
Commercial business. People have to get rid of their excess metal.
Yep.
Businesses, people that aren't in our industry just assume it's like the peddlers, the guys like driving around with the pickup, and that's part of our business. And no diss on those guys. We need those guys too. It's part of the machine, and to keep the streets clean and keep everybody right. But our business, as it's like we want that commercial business, and that's where this flow really comes from. And that's what I think about a scrapyard. You can kind of tell how good the economy's kind of going with the flow of the scrap.
Absolutely.
And it's been kind of off for a little while, but not awful. I've seen it worse.
I was going to say, find that silver lining, man.
It is.
And it's not, I told a customer the other day, I was like, as rough as the market feels, this is the most stable we've been in 15 years.
And you always talk about that, like you like the...
I can project what's going to happen.
We've been borderline sideways for 6 months.
Yeah.
And we really have,
maybe
it's up 10, down 10, and then this month sideways.
It's boring, but it's effective.
And copper's been borderline sideways. It kind of got crazy, but then aluminum's been
strong in my opinion.
Aluminum's the strongest.
Yeah, it's had a really good run here.
So Grande's killing it.
Grande's
You're the only scrapyard. You're probably adding assets, adding bins, adding all that. And
United is, bolstering us from behind as a sister company, giving us an old roll-off truck and then hooking us up with a few roll-offs. And then, United had customers all the way to Grande that they were servicing. And, that transition took place where, we started servicing those guys, and then we slowly bolstered our fleet. And
you're able to service Grande and then you start develop your service area.
Yeah, we started stretching out a little bit. And like I said, once the competitor, was out of the picture, all of a sudden things opened up a bit for us. And we kind of got our feet underneath us. And then 2015, in the spring of 2015, we were doing a job in late 14, early 15 in Grande at a sawmill. And I went down there with Brett and bid it. We bought a bunch of stuff at auction, and kind of got our hands dirty with that, and came back. And I'd been driving by another scrapyard in Baker City, and I'm like, every time I drove by, a little fire in my gut, like, I don't like you. You're not us. I'm going to buy you out. We're going to figure this out. We're going to buy you out. We're going to push you out.
Mm-hmm.
And with this job behind me and a couple years of grinding it out in Grande, I felt like, well,
you know how to start. You know how to. Oh, well, that one, that one's not opening from scratch.
No, that we weren't greenfield in that
No.
game, and after doing what we had done in Grande, I figured if we could get through what we got through, that Baker was going to be a ballpark. We were just going to walk right through that thing, and
because you put that deal together. You made the relationship with.
I kind of got the relationship, which
Yep.
wasn't really much in the beginning. A lot of the credit probably goes back to Brett and Brian,
Okay.
And Jake for actually putting the numbers together. Because
Okay.
you got to remember at that point, 2015, I'm 23.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah,
I don't have much clue what's going on.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I know
Yeah.
I know how to buy scrap. I know how to put a load together. But beyond that, I'm just learning as we go. I mean,
Yeah.
Just that's how it's always been. And so yeah, we got the Baker Yard deal together, and it worked in our favor, man. Scrap market had just been death by 1,000 cuts for like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And so the price just kept coming down and coming down. And we finally got to a price that made sense for us at the time. And
he was happy with.
He was happy with, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a great relationship with Sam these days.
Good.
The guy that we purchased the facility from. Him and his wife have been awesome people to get to know and deal with. And I get the pleasure of, we're going to cut them their final check on that facility in December.
Oh, great.
So Baker will be, paid off in full as far as that's concerned this
Very cool.
December. So exciting times in that regard. 10 years this
awesome.
year. So
That's crazy.
that's nuts, isn't it?
10 years. So you get that up and rolling.
We get that up and rolling.
And that was your team. So you add on to this, because me and Brett talk about this all the time. I love putting yards in. I love helping Brett do it. I love helping him get it website right, get all those things dialed in. I love helping the culture. But culture, you got to have people.
Yeah.
Finding the right people can be a real...
As Jay would say, the peanut butter inside the bread.
Yep, we got a lot of bread. We don't got enough peanut butter. I love that. I don't know how he came up with that, but I love it. So we have a peanut butter problem.
Yeah.
Did you ever develop a peanut butter problem, or was your situation a little different than ours over here?
We had a pretty good group in play. When we bought Baker, we had brought on a guy by the name of Cody McHugh that's still with us today, and he lived there in Baker. And with hiring him, we had told him like, "Hey, we're working on this Baker deal. It's going to come together. Just work in Grande, travel for a little while here, and we'll make it work." And for those of you that don't know, from Grande to Baker City's, I think it's 30 miles roughly. So a little bit of travel involved, but nothing crazy. So anyway, we get the Baker deal put together. Cody goes to Baker with me, and we kind of, the two of us, just start making that happen. And what it allowed for was in Grande, we had a guy, Casey Kuiper, at the time that had ran the non-ferrous side of the business, and he was involved from the very beginning. And
he was there from the start.
Oh yeah, he was there before I started. He was doing putting the scale in, and
he was good, man.
Oh man, that guy.
He was awesome.
Yeah, too soon. One of those that just
rest in peace.
Too soon. But we had Casey there, and so Casey was able to take my position as far as being in the office and handling the buying and stuff, and he took that over. And then we had a few guys that had worked with him as well, and they stepped up. And so everybody just kind of stepped up as we went, and Jake did a good job of hiring a few guys.
They stepped up to the opportunity.
Oh yeah,
and I love that.
And I don't know what opportunity was there at the time. I mean, if you you look back on it, like, it wasn't much. It was slim picking.
Yeah.
We scratched it there for a long time. Those guys ran some old equipment that we worked on as much as we ran. And so, like, when you look at it from now back to then, it's like, man, those guys were loyal, and it still are loyal, because I don't know what they saw, because there wasn't much to see. I mean, it was, it was tough.
Well, what did you see? So you came a bad experience at your first official scrap job, not running your own scrap.
Yeah.
Came a bad experience, but you obviously, it was in your blood. You wanted to stay in that game. And then you met Brett. And I'm just curious, like, why did you believe in Brett and Jake? What made you believe? Because that's a leap of faith for you.
Yeah. So
that's a greenfield site. Like,
Well, I didn't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything to lose. I mean, I had worked for Jake for a month and a half, and he goes, "Hey, let's go down to the bar." And I looked at Jake and I said, "I can't go to the bar. I'm not old enough." And he goes, "Quit screwing around. Let's go to the bar." And I said, "No, Jake, I'm 20 years old. I don't have an ID. I can't get in." And "You're shitting me." I said, "Did you even look at my resume, man?" And he's like, "No." And I'm going, "Well, if you'd have read my resume, you'd see that, I was born in 1991, and currently I'm not old enough to be in there." So, no, I didn't have anything to lose.
What made you stay then?
I saw two guys that were willing to give it a push. Jake and Katie too. Two people that they're just down to earth, and
they're great people.
It was family, and it felt like family, and so I didn't have a reason to leave. And you know what? There was times I had looked at some other options, and there were some better options on the table. Mm-hmm. But we were building something, and it was fun to be in that building stage. And I'm not, me, I don't always follow the rules.
Me too.
There are guidelines out there. I mean, we got people within the company that do a good job of setting things up for us, and I might be one of their biggest issues from time to time.
Oh, no, I think you're better. We won't go into that.
But, I was a little Western with it, and the business allowed me to just do that. And then the other half of it was,
they allowed you to make some mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we were all fumbling together.
Yeah. We're making mistakes together.
Yeah, we were all making mistakes
together. And getting better.
Yeah. And then the other half of it was, I had a community behind me at that point. I had made relationships in the Grande that, once again, it goes back to knowing, grandma's cookies and all that stuff. Like, I had those relationships, and you can't let those people down.
Yeah. And
so once you start the next facility, well, then same thing. You start building those relationships, and I can't back out now.
Yeah.
And when we acquired the Baker facility, I was given the opportunity to buy in. So I was at that point given some equity share in the business. Was able to purchase some equity share in the business, and so at that point, now you're in. Now
with some of the things that Jake and Katie and Brett had told you, they followed it up by action.
Absolutely.
And that's the key to it. And I took the job and I told Brett, I don't know why, you should never say this in a job interview. I told him I don't plan to stay here that long. Plan to go back to college, get back on my feet. I've been working since I was 15. Mm-hmm. But I fell in love with the business, and I believed in Brett and Rod. I truly did. And it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. And it is a family to me. I'd do anything for Brett and his dad and his mom. Yeah. They've done so much for me. And they'd do anything for me.
Yeah.
All I gotta do is ask.
100%.
And I know it's like cliche. I know there's big corporations that try to spin the whole family thing, and it ain't true.
No.
But it's true here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. But it does take time, effort, loyalty. I'm loyal like a dog, and so is Brett. Mm-hmm. Loyal to me, because it goes both ways. Yep. But we do live in a day and age where people move quick. it's job offers, jump ship, and that's fine if that's what's best for you. I won't know. I don't get upset. I used to get upset by that stuff, but I don't anymore. Like, you do your best. Whatever you think's best for you, you go do it. I'll shake your hand. And I'll never burn a bridge. Like, if you ever need to, come back, or I don't know if your job, I ain't gonna hold your job, but call me.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I've like all of our guys at B&K. I've always told them, you got something better that's gonna further you and your family, whether it's financial or it's it's
emotional happiness.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you got a plan and or you something's not fitting, go for it. Mm-hmm. Give me a little bit of respect in the sense that a couple of weeks would be great. At least a week's notice would be cool. I still might send you home that same day, but at least give me the option. Mm-hmm. And we've had some guys leave us for better things, and they're doing great, and it's great to see it. And then we've got guys that have stuck with us, and I don't know what that's going to develop into. We've only been at this, 14 years?
It feels like we just started.
In my opinion, we just got started. I'm young, I'm young. I'm 33. I'll be 34 this year, I think.
42 over here, a little older. Yeah. I feel young.
And, so I see what's happened in the last 14 years, and I go, well, shoot, if we did that in 14 and the fire feels like it's just getting warm, we're just getting our legs underneath us, what's the next 5 going to look like? Mm-hmm. So with that fire, 2015, we acquired Baker. We get that thing up and going. It wasn't a greenfield, so it was a much faster. We had, when we bought the business, it had roll-offs, it had bins, it had a truck, it had a tow truck, it had loaders.
You had some real assets.
We had some assets. We had some equipment. And so that allowed, that was a catalyst to just let that business get going. Mm-hmm. And then it's taken some time, but we got the right people in place, and that business has grown. And for those of you that don't know our area or our region, Eastern Oregon is a pretty large area. Mm-hmm. So we travel a lot. Like the area that we service, a lot of scrapyards might be somewhat.
It's more condensed.
Condensed and close in their service. I mean, we travel. It's nothing to go 300 miles for one of our trucks. Yeah. Round trip, go get product from a customer. We've got to reach out there. It's low density of people, low density of product, and so it forces you to be mobile and go get the product if you're gonna move it. So we got the right people in place and the right equipment in place, and Baker took off and has done really well. 2018 comes around.
Okay.
And it's funny how timing just kind of works. My wife, then fiance, says, "Hey, I need something. I need something more job-wise, career-wise than what Baker City can offer." So I have the chat with Brett and Jake, and I'm like, "Hey guys, we got to do something different. Mm-hmm. I need to be able to get my wife into a position, or fiance. I got to get her into a position that she can use her skills and expand her career. And a facility in Payette becomes available." And Brett goes, "I got something on my sleeve. So next thing you know, a few months later, boom, we're purchasing an auto salvage in Payette. And so I'm putting people in place in Baker to try to help take up my slack. And I sell the house, and we moved to Fruitland and opened up the yard in Payette, and then, up to this last September, we closed that facility back down just to move assets around to further some
did close it. It's in. We don't bat 1,000. You know what I mean?
No.
So
that's not the first one we've lost on.
No, we don't win everything, but we ain't gonna quit trying.
Well, and it's not over.
It ain't over.
Like the way we had an auto salvage in Mountain Home that was part of B&K at one point in time, and it failed. And the property hung around, and now it's the home of United Storage, Mountain Home, and who knows what the pay property may become down the road or may not become. But yeah, just because it didn't work out doesn't mean that's the end of it.
That's true.
So, and we also, like I said, we moved assets. We had only so much equipment, only so many guys, and we felt like we had better opportunities in other places. I know United's been expanding, and we decided that we needed to make a move, and so
you did. What did you do? What was your guys? What was B&K's next move?
We went back home. We went to Pendleton.
Was that always a dream to have a yard in your hometown?
I don't know if it was a dream maybe in high school as much as it was once I got into college. I just wanted to have my own scrap yard, which I got that, kind of put together. And then the older I got and the more I saw that there wasn't a yard in Pendleton still.
The opportunity. And
there was a need and an opportunity, and we had the legs to make it happen.
That itch never went away, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do one of those, hey guys, what do you think? So, gosh,
the inevitable text from Brett. I've been thinking about something. I'm like, oh fuck.
Here it comes.
Here we go. What are we doing now?
That was probably middle of 24. We kind of started dreaming up on it, and then
you guys got to put that together.
It went quick.
You got to put that together quick.
It did. We started, I think, negotiations or just chatting with the city of Pendleton in like March, February, something like that, and got a deal put together on a piece of ground up there in the industrial park up by the airport, and just kind of went through the hoops like you got to do. And every yard we do seems to go a little faster.
Yeah, you get better at it.
You got a better idea what you're doing.
I need to do this, this, and this, and this. And
I only run into the wall a few times instead of 100 times.
Yeah, exactly.
But put that together, opened it December 1 of 24 officially, and just like we said before, created opportunity for a bunch of people within the business. Had a bunch of guys.
Yeah, I went up there in February. Justin and Jordan were running it. Great dudes. They got the opportunity to kind of grow within the company.
Yeah.
And what I see, you guys are killing it over there.
It's been good. The community's been really receptive. The team's, doing what they do, doing what we do. Just throwing it out there, offering up a service with real care and compassion behind it, as far as like, we want to take care of you. We want your business to succeed. And a lot of that we've learned from United over the years, and seeing what's worked for you guys, but also seeing just the passion behind that, and us having the same passion to, it's more than just picking up a bin so we can make some money. It's there's a lot more that goes into that, and so the community's been receptive, the team's been receptive. Like I said, it was able to give those guys some opportunity to step up and move to a better position, take on some more roles and grow. And once again, I've got guys, I'm misspeaking probably, but Jordan's in his mid 20s.
I would think, yeah.
Justin, he's a bit older, but
still young.
Oh yeah,
they're still both young.
Both young guys, and pulled one of them out of a role and put them in another role that gives them more opportunity, and allows them to lead at a greater level.
Because that's what we're trying to do, develop leaders.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to develop bosses.
Yeah.
I hate it.
No.
I want leaders. I want people that are going to lead from the front. They're going to lead by example. I want people that are going to help their employees succeed. And I feel like we've done a decent job of like ingraining that into our culture. And I look at it as like one big happy family. You know that.
Oh yeah.
United B&K, the same thing in my head. And I think you guys think the same way.
Absolutely.
And
ride or die.
It's been a pleasure to work with you. It's been a pleasure to see you guys grow, man.
It's been fun.
We felt kind of left out, so we're like, well, if they're gonna put a yard in, we're gonna put a yard back in Mountain Home. So that should be up and going by October.
Yeah.
shoot for October 1, which is only
See how it goes.
like 2 weeks away. So
I was supposed to have a big shear operating in the Grande in April, but here we are.
Shooting for October. And then we got some big things to announce from Pocatello.
Yeah.
No scrap though. We do other recycling, as you guys should know.
Yeah. The tires has been a big thing, man. It's been fun.
So we're gonna be doing some tires over in Pokey. So
cool.
We're just trying to take care of it and grow our team, give our team opportunity. It's been awesome to see B&K. Like I remember the first time I went to B&K, and you guys got 3 yards, dude.
What's your takeaway from B&K from the the overhead view, the 30,000 mile view, looking back? Like, what's your biggest takeaway? What have we been good enough copycats? Or
I think you guys are great, man. I've learned from you. I think I learned. There's a lot of things I learned from you. Like, you do better than me. Like, reaching out to the community. Where I tell you, like, I gotta do more community involvement. Like, I'm real involved in Caldwell on a personal level.
Sure.
But I need to get the business more involved. So kudos to you guys for doing that. And that's where I've talked to Brad. Like, we got it. And we're actively doing that now. We're gonna get more involved in our community. But I think you guys are doing amazing. Like, from where you started. I remember when that scale got put in the Grande, I remember helping teach Casey and the guys non-ferrous, because that's kind of what I was, my deal, Yeah. Teaching them non-ferrous. And I remember, and what I love and hate it, because I'm the one that sends you your paperwork.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, this used to be a lot easier. But you guys are shipping 6 loads of non-ferrous. That our team helps.
We used to do one every 6 months.
Dude. It's like
no, it's 6 a month.
6 a month. It's like the volume you guys are producing. That attests to your relationships you develop with your customer base. That attests to your team culture. That attests to probably the growth of the areas too. And it's awesome to see, man. Like, I love the competition. I love building things. I love helping people build things. I really do. That's what I love doing more than anything.
Yeah.
I love the building it. I love putting a guy in an uncomfortable situation, seeing him fucking turn into a fucking killer. Yeah. And I fucking love it. Yeah. Unfortunately, you see the other side. Some guys you put in that place and they don't always work out, but that's the game we play, man. It's the only thing I've learned with myself is I have to accept. I'm not going to bet 1,000. I'm not. I want to. I would lie. I'm trying to. And I'm not trying to hit home runs anymore. I'm just trying
singles, baby.
Singles and doubles.
Singles.
If I hit a double, I'm fucking happy. But I still strike out once in a while.
Yeah, from a sales side, every once in a while you got to bunt and just take a sacrifice. It's okay. It's part of the average.
Yep.
So.
But I appreciate you guys as a partner, and I've learned as much from you, probably more from you than you've learned from me. And I can't wait to see where the 4th yard goes. Oh.
Here comes gray hair, or what hair's left. Thank you.
Any last thing for the audience? Any words of advice?
Stay safe, stay classy, keep on recycling.
Okay, I love it. Thank you both.
Thank you.